Hey everybody, it's Thomas. Let's talk about Blood Bowl, League of Blood Bowl. Had my game last week. Got a level up on troll. Have an injured catch sidestep guy, and one of these 0 SPP guys is probably going to go. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Game from last week will be up here. It was against the other Goblin team, which I managed to win 2-1. Got the ball away relatively early. Well, not relatively early. I got the ball away and scored on turn 8. Scored again in the second half. He had a glorious throw teammate touchdown. It hit a lot of my guys, and it hurt. But for the most part, as you can see, aside from Bambino, which really sucks because catch side stuff are good, no huge major injuries going into next week, which is important because it's the playoffs. I should mention this is going to be kind of a little different from my normal recap videos. We're mostly going to be focused on the playoffs. We'll do a little bit of what the other teams ended up with, but we're going to do more of that when we do the end of season recap of everything. So we'll just kind of do a cursory glance over how teams did. 50,000 for everyone for his final total. And did get a level up on the troll from all the hitting, but that's about it. Let's take a look at some of the other matches here. We had the forced tie for the Skaven team, which worked out pretty well for the Skaven team. There's no injuries against what would have been a bruising, most likely. No levels up at all. I think I mentioned in the previous league that there are a couple people that she wants to get SPP on, and that didn't happen. The touchdown went to the Storm Vermin, and the MVP went to this lineman. So not that great. 90k, which is pretty good. That is due to all this fan factor. But has a bunch of money now, so if things really go south in her first playoff matchup and she wins, she can rebuy some team. Let's take a look at what else happened that's more interesting. A 2-2 for the Underworld versus Ogre team. You can watch this matchup here. It's a really good case study in watching Mark run away from the big punchy, stompy ogres. I don't think he had any levels up. Nope, he got one level up on this goblin and gave him Disturbing Presence, which I like quite a bit. It's a really nice thing to have to limit pass plays, handoffs. Disturbing Presence is a great skill and really good for the goblins who are pretty worthless. He's not really exploiting them for touchdowns or anything like that. Looks like he fired his Agi goblins as well to reduce his overall team value. Walked away with 30k, which is kind of sad, but who cares? 330. He's still got tons of money. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see the ogres put on the hurt, killed the player, but it was one of the plus agility guys he wanted to fire anyway. Have some vanity passing to build some more SPP in targeted ways. Basically, Mark did a great job of please no, not in the face, and it worked fine. This team's looking very solid going into the playoffs. 14 players, 1450 team value, not too bad whatsoever. Let's take a look. Just quick see how Chris ended up. Level up on the Snotling. No level up on Galactus, so almost level 3, and Shrek also didn't hit level 3. A little sad, but what can you do? 150k, end of the season, 1780 in team value. Not too bad whatsoever. I think Mark... don't remember. Must have fired somebody or something. I thought there was a full roster, but who knows? I don't know. Yeah, like the expendable Snotling at level 2. Anyway, other side of things, Andrew versus Sid. Did good, 3-1. 60k, not too bad. An interception, which is always pretty great. With all the passing plays happening, not too surprised to see one of these teams got an interception. Only 2 KOs, 8 a casualty for his trouble. Lots of running though, lots of passing. Looks like lots of nice short passes for Andrew's team, which makes sense to just build light SPP. Walked away with a ton here. 1 MVP, 5 complete passes, an interception, and 3 touchdowns. That's 21 SPP, and this team definitely needed it. Didn't unfortunately get this ward answer to level 2, which probably would have been helpful. This one to level 4 though is pretty scary. Don't know what he'll get. Lots of options, obviously, because the ward answers have access to what do they have access to? I want to say strength skills. Nope, just general and agility. Okay, that makes more sense. Strength would be a little too ridiculous. Lots of choices. Already got block, dodge, leap, tackle, and +1 MA. I like Frenzy on elves. Frenzy on a ward answer is always pretty good. Lots of choices though. We'll see what he rolls. Definitely that could swing one thing as the other. +1 strength would be absolutely amazing. +1 agility would be great. Probably not more movement allowance at that point, and armor wouldn't help too much, although can't really hurt. Probably better off just taking a regular skill though at that point. Level 3 on this lineman. Big choices here are whether they go blodge or not. I'm not sure what would be the thing to get for... What would you even want to do for a block lineman already? I guess you could get tackle. That'd be one thing to do. It's kind of the choice of more defensive or more offensive. I think having a little more hitting power wouldn't hurt, although being able to keep pieces up is key when you only have 11 players. So dodge wouldn't be a bad call, but again, could certainly get tackle and hit things. Could get strip ball. Could get dauntless. That'd be fun. Lots of choices for a block lineman. I think dodge and tackle are probably the best ones to look at, though. Level up on the thrower. Well, already has accurate. Already has a leader. Sure hands seems like kind of a waste. I would lean towards getting probably block. Just to add more hitting power, I guess. Yeah. This catcher got another level up. That's pretty exciting. Already has block. Already has dodge. Sidestep wouldn't be bad. Fend wouldn't be bad. Fend actually would be pretty nice, just to help, because it'll help keep people from following up and doing damage, or continue to mark this player. So that wouldn't be a bad choice. Nerves of Steel is never bad. Sidestep, always a good skill. Lots of choices for Andrew. Lots and lots of choices. He's got a really tough matchup going against Mark, but having all these level ups definitely help. I do wish this War Dancer, like I said, was level 2, but it's the only piece on here that isn't level 2, and he can afford to buy another player. So that's definitely worth considering. He's got both throwers. Could get a catcher. I don't know if a catcher is worth more than a lineman at that point. Tough call, certainly. I don't envy that decision. Add another catcher would not hurt. We can take a quick peek over at Sid. 30k for Sid, and 1 level up on this line woman. Not too bad. So that basically wraps it up for the week prior. Get my words out here. Let's take a look at the playoffs. As we can kind of tell here, these top 4 teams are making it in. And we've got the seeding down here because I am last in this group, 4th, and Grey Duck is 1st. We'll be playing, and Mark and Andrew will be playing as well. This matchup. So this is why I need to fire a Goblin. I have 1430 in team value now. If we take a look at the Skaven team, we've got 1680. So I'm needing 250, which is a pretty good amount, and I would be happy with that were this regular season. The reason I'm not happy with it now is I really need to do well, and a big part of that will be getting the star player troll. Ripper costs 270, so I need to fire one of these Goblins. Billy Penn, it's got to be you. You were the last one hired, and the line of Coogan's Bluff seeks vengeance. Disadvantage going this is it puts me down to 14 players before I add the troll. But I'll be back to 15 at that point, which is more than enough. Goodbye, Billy Penn. You served us well. So yeah, those will put me down to 1380, which is a pretty key number because that means I can get, or 1390 I should say, but either way, that's enough to get Ripper. Leave me with 20k left in inducements, which is nothing. So how this game needs to go, it'll really depend on how the first reception handles, whether I can defend well or whether I can do a lot of damage moving forward. Either way, it's going to come down to how much damage I can do early on and how much can I exploit that, because the more damage I'm doing, the less scoring potential there are. So that means I'm probably going to leave the chainsaw primarily just for fouling. I don't feel like I have other options beyond that. Fouling just makes the most sense. This team just has to focus on moving the ball. When I've got secret weapons out, get the ball away, score, score, score. Definitely a possibility. We'll see. I hope Ripper helps me out. I've been practicing this matchup a lot. I feel pretty confident. 2 times we met this season, I was beaten pretty soundly. So yeah, first time though was like week 3 when my team was still very poorly formed. And last time, that was when she still had tons of scary pieces before Old Pants Commander kindly took out 2 of the big scary ones. So, let's see. Tackle pieces I gotta watch out for. Those guys are jerks, to say the least. At least there's only 2 of them, though. So we'll see. I have to deal with the Rat Ogre as well, because if I can deal with the Rat Ogre, then my Trolls and Ripper and Fanatic can do more damage a little easier. We'll see. It's definitely going to come down to how much damage I can do early. If her block dice continue to be what they were all season, who knows? This could go very south for me. I don't know how to predict this. I feel very confident, though. I feel like I can win this matchup, which would be exciting. But certainly, this team has dominated all season. I don't know if that'll stop now. Looking at the other matchup here, Andrew versus Mark. Let's look at some team values here. So, Angel's at 1490 after his level ups. Oh, clicked on the wrong team. After his level ups, he'll be, so it's 4, so he'll be at 1570. That is a big number. And if we compare that to Mark's carefully pruned team, 1450. So 120 for Mark there. It's not too bad. Short of a wizard, which is very good for Andrew, I would lean towards saying... Boy. I would lean towards saying that... Oh, man. Probably both babes is what you'd want to do, or a free reroll. That's kind of the call, I think. Do you get both babes to help advance knockouts, or do you get the extra reroll to help make everything better? I would lean towards the reroll, I think, putting a little more thought into it. Extra apothecary doesn't mean anything. All these pieces are mostly worthless anyway, except for, like, Dean, but that's just careful apothecary management from there. Last time these teams met, let's take a look here. Draw game of 0-0, and where's the other one? And then a win for Mark for 2-1. So we're going by the more recent outcome, which is from week 7, bear in mind. Looks like Mark should have the advantage here. Certainly it kind of seems that way. Dean is a very scary piece. Relatively fast team still can keep up with these guys. Having wrestle on 2 people along with tackle, more tackle, some more tackle, claw tentacles. We'll see. I think that disturbing presence will be a bigger factor than Andrew's expecting, and certainly having block on these throwers helps as well. So basically, it's going to be about ward answers, like it is for any Wood Elf game. Ward answers are going to be the linchpin for this matchup. How well Mark manages the ward answers is going to be key, because without the ward answers, this is just a kind of effective passing team. Probably he's going to want to leave like his block tackle lineman or block wrestle or tackle wrestle lineman in the background to try to act as a screen or a safety against the catcher. This isn't going to be an easy matchup for either team. These teams are actually pretty evenly matched. Andrew's the advantage of having more agility, more mobility. Mark is the advantage of more hitting, and 7 armor value is rough on this team, although certainly that's basically what Mark is working with as well. Again, hesitant to call a winner here. I'm going to give an edge to Mark, though, simply because his team has pretty much not suffered any major injuries, and disturbing presence can be situationally really obnoxious. Not to mention the fact that he's got a lot more tackle and a lot more block, and Dean is still a monster. We'll see. But Elf Bullshit is called Elf Bullshit for a reason, and very may well save the day. So, looking ahead beyond that, because what I'm not going to do another one of these videos after this first week of playoffs. We'll probably just preview them both now, and then we'll wrap it up in the season summary here. Assuming I advance and Mark advances, that would be pretty cool because we played first week and 8th week, so it'd be fun to play the last week. There, I think Mark beats me pretty handily, although who knows. I'm not getting as much money as I am from Great X, so those things are a little bit different. If Andrew advances and I play Andrew, I think I can beat Andrew, although, again, I'll be getting just a ton of money, and we'll see. It'll be very similar to these matchups, and I don't know if I can beat the Wood Elves. We'll see. Word answers are jerks, but they're manageable jerks. And then, if we stick with the original prediction that I've been making kind of all season, if it is Grey Duck versus Mark, relatively interesting game. Mark's lost both these games they've played by the skin of his teeth. It'll be interesting to see if that comes to pass. If that comes true, I'd still give an edge to the Skaven team to just win it all, which would be really gross to have a totally undefeated team, but hey, what can you do? So it should be an exciting couple of weeks. Season 2 will end probably next couple weeks here. I'll have a summary video when everything's over. Might do a final cast video with Mark over replay of the final match if it's not us playing off. We'll see. Season 3 will be starting up before you know it. Looking at the end of October here for when that's going to start up. So some more content for that season. Should be really good. We've got a couple new players coming in to replace some people. Should be a really good time. All the teams that people are talking about playing should make for a very, very interesting season. But we'll get into that moving forward. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you guys later.